Welcome back guys, you are watching Rising Kudasira. In this video, we are going to know about conditional rendering in React.js. In this video, we are going to cover a lot of topics related to conditional rendering, using if else, using ternary operator, using logical and, using logical or, using switch case, using early return, rendering list conditionally, using multiple condition and many more we are going to know inside this video. So we'll have good practice of conditional rendering in React.js in this video. So what is conditional rendering? First of all, we are going to know about it. Let's take a real world example. If user is logged in, then I will show him add to cart button. If user is not logged in, I will show him login button. Let's see with an example using if else. So I'm just going to say if the user is logged in. So is logged in. I'm going to create this variable logged in. If user is logged in, if the condition becomes true, then we are going to return a message. Let's return a message in h1 tag, and the message will be welcome. So let's say welcome. And if user is not logged in, that means if the condition becomes false, then what we need to return? We are going to write it over here. And here again, I'm going to return h1, and inside this, I'm going to show please log in. So let's make here constant is logged in. Log in is equal to, let's make it, first of all, let's make it false. That means user is not logged in. Now as this condition is getting false, if is logged in is false, that means the condition is already getting false, so it will not check the if statement. It's similar like our if else statement which we just see in any language. So if statement will get false, and this will like to get this message welcome, it should be true. Okay, so let's say true, and as I do this true, you can just see simultaneously it will get updated. So welcome is displayed on the screen. So do this using writing here. Let's make here else block, and inside else block I can return this. So it will also work for us. Okay, if I just make it false over here, then it will execute the please login. So it's quite simple. Second point is using ternary operator. So I'm going to create a component called as greeting.jsx. Okay, the greeting. I will call this component at this point. So let's call this function. I'm just going to say greeting, and as I do the tab, it will get imported automatically. And I will just pass a prop that is if logged in. So we have already discussed about the props, guys, in our previous videos, and we have practiced it a lot. So if you have not watched that videos, you can watch it, and that will help you guys. Very, very important videos are there. And I'm just going to set true as default, and this will be passing from there. Okay, let's copy this is logged in. You can just copy this, and this prop we are going to destructure and this point. It's quite simple, I'm just telling you here as well. So I'm just going to destructure it, okay, using curly brackets, so that I can access the value which is coming from this app.jsx component to this greeting.jsx component. I'm just going to create an h1 tag inside which I'm going to add a ternary operator, but it is a pure javascript. So use here curly brackets. Inside this I'm going to write the javascript, and I'm just going to say is logged in, is logged in. If this condition becomes true, I just need to print a message, welcome back. That means user is logged in. And I'm just going to say welcome back. And we can add exclamation exit. And else, what if user is not logged in? Please log in. Okay, so this message will be displayed, and this is quite easy ternary operator. It is just like if else statement, and if this condition is true, then this will get execute. If this condition is false, then this will get execute. The prop which we are passing is true, and as it is true, it will be displaying the message that welcome back was, and just sending a value which is false, then it will become please log. So it's quite simple in ternary operator. If this condition becomes true, it will display this message, or otherwise this will be displayed. Now let's move to the third point, which is logical and. So here I'm going to create a component notification .jsx. Let's call notification component have a prop here which is going to be has message is equal to, if it becomes 2, then something will be displayed, otherwise nothing will get displayed. The destructuring is quite simple. Again, we are going to write in curly brackets, and I'm going to say has message, and if this condition becomes true, I'm just going to add double and sign ampersand. And if the condition is true, I just need to print a message that you have a new message, you have new message. and this will be displayed. You have new message. When this condition is true, then only this will be displayed. But what if this condition becomes false? Nothing will get displayed, and you can just see you have new message is been displayed at this point, and I just make it a false. So nothing will get displayed. That will get removed from the doc. I'm going to add one more prop at this component, which is notification, and I'm going to say is added. And let's keep the default value as true, and it will come here. We are going to destructure it at this point. So I'm just going to say is adding. We have destructure it, and right now I'm just going to say is admin and add. If user is admin, then I'm going to show him a button that he can delete the user. So he can delete user. So let's get this delete user. Why? Because he's admin, he can delete user. He can adjust all the things on the website because he's admin. Now, as the default value is true, you can just see delete user button is available on this page. What if I just make it false? From here it will be disabled. So let's say false, and it will be removed from this page. Fourth point is logical auth. So I'm just going to create a component again, and let's give it name as user.jsx. Let's call the function, and it is going to be user the component, and here I'm going to pass a prop which is going to be username is equal to. Right now I'm going to pass my name. This prop is passed to the component which is user.jsx, and here I'm just going to destructure the username. So I'm going to say username return and h1 tag. We are going to return h1 tag. Now here I am just going to write JavaScript again. So we are going to add curly brackets, and I'm going to say if the username is available, then it's fine. Then display the username. Okay, it is just display. Otherwise, if username is not available or the parent component is not sending the prop, at this point, I just need to print the message that guest user if it is not available. If username is not available, this will be displayed. So here is my name and it is being displayed right now. I'm not going to pass it. So I'm just going to control backspace, and you can just see guest. Guest has been displayed. So here I can come here on user, and I can just say guest user. Guest user. Okay, this will be displayed. If username is available, it will be displayed. If username is not available, it will display guest user. Fifth point, which is switch case. Here the component name which we are going to create for this switch case is going to be status.jsx. I'm just going to add a switch, and let's get some value from its parent component. Component name is status. So this is the component. We are going to pass here a prop which is going to be status, and at this point I'm going to keep it empty. Let's move to status, or another alternative way which we were having, we are just going to say props, and here we can just say props dot status. Okay, we already seen this as well. Uh first case is loading, so I'm just going to say loading g colon. So I'm just going to say return in paragraph tag, and which is loading. Quite simple. This will be displayed when it comes from parent component loading. So I'm just going to go here. I'm going to pass here loading in double quotes loading. And as this has been passed, the component here, you can just see loading is been displayed. At this point, you can just see loading is been displayed at this point. Now let's move to the next switch case. Let's move to case number 2, and I'm just going to say here success. So let's say success, and this success will return success. In paragraph tag, I'm going to add success. Now we'll have one more case which is error. So if this is error, and if the error is there, we need to print here in. So it is like promise only. We have already seen promise as well in a short video. Default case which comes with it will be invalid status. So in the right here unknown. Unknown. Okay, so loading is displayed because props is sending loading. Now let's send success from here. So I'm just going to say success, and then success will be displayed here. If I am just making a spelling mistake, it will say unknown. Okay, because the default will execute at that point. If the case is error, it will just return the error. So let's say error, it will return error element, we can just say. So error has been displayed. So it's quite simple in switch cases. Whatever the condition is true, it will get displayed. Okay, where it gets matched, it is getting matched over here. This element will get displayed. Paragraph will be displayed with an error message. So it is similar like our switch case which we use in Java, JavaScript or any other languages. Next point is early return. In early return, we are going to return at this point only in app component only. I'm just doing this. If user is not logged in, so I'm just going to say is logged in. If it becomes false, that means I'm already adding not, which will make this opposite. Return in H1, I'm just going to say please log in. Log in. And what if user is login? I'm just going to say return. And in H1 time, I'm just going to have dashboard because we'll move him to dashboard and dashboard. Okay. And we need to create this variable. Let's create a variable is logged in. Logged in is equal to, I'm going to set the value as forms. So that means he is not logged in, and here we can just simply login will get displayed. Now you can just see whatever the components which we have loaded at this point below that component, it will get disabled. Okay, only this will get displayed. Whatever the stuff which is available below it, it will not get displayed. Is logged in is false and not, that means it will become true, and it becomes true, that means this message is been displayed. Otherwise, our dashboard will be displayed. And what if I just make here true? Dashboard will be displayed, but this will not display because we are doing early return at this point. 7th point is rendering list conditionally. I'm going to create a component called as list. So let's create it list dot .jsx. So here what I'm going to do is first let's import the component. So I'm going to say list. We're going to pass some users, and users we will be users, and that will be an array of users. So let's create it over here. So I'm just going to say constant users is equal to uh here let's add some user, then we are having Bob. These are the users. I have created array of users, and here we are just passing it at this point to the component which is list. So I'm going to destructure it here, or we can also have props. I'm just going to create a condition that users dot length. Let's get first of all the length and let the length be displayed on the page. So users.length will be displaying 3 because 3 users are available at this point when the user length is greater than. So when the user length becomes greater than 0, that means we need to print individual users we are going to print here. So mostly in React, we just use user dot map function is been used. Map function will get individual users, will get this index. So user I'm giving with u, and here I will have index as r because we need to pass a key as well. We are going to see in our upcoming videos as well that how the list are being rendered. Here we're going to create a paragraph tag, and in which we are going to have a key. We need to pass unique key to each and individual different list, and here the key will be index number we are going to pass, and also we need to display the user. So we'll display the user. But here the issue is we need to give the else statement. We are using ternary operator. What if user length is equal to 0? If the user length becomes equal to 0, then we need to pass no user found. Like this message, no user found. You are just passing this. As we are using curly brackets, what we need to do is we are going to add here recon statement. That will fix it. So users will be displayed. You can just see Paushal, Bob, and John. So what happens when you use curly brackets? You need to add a return. And if you don't use curly brackets, you can use here normal parenthesis. That will also fix an issue, but at this point we don't need to write a return statement. From this side, I'm just going to make empty array, then it should show that no user form. So no user form is been displayed using multiple conditions, multiple in dot .jsx, and I'm just going to say multiple. So let's come here, let's say multiple, pass here a prop which is going to be status is equal to, and here we are going to have multiple statements. So I'm just going to use your curly brackets, and here we're going to destructure the status customer status. Let's destructure it. Hello ading loading. I'm just going to pass here. Let's copy this and insert this. If the status become triple equal to loading, let's add it in double quotes, and I need to pass a message. I'm going to pass here is loading. Simple. So right now on the page loading will be displayed. I'm just going to make a copy of this. If the status becomes success, then we can just say data loaded, data loaded. If the status becomes error, we can just give a message error occurred. Occurred. Okay. So this can be shown and listen app.jsx. I can just change the status to error. Error will be displayed, error occurred. And if I'm just going to say success, then it will say data is been loaded. So in this way we can also do multiple statements and we can use logical and if the condition is getting true we can display this message. In this we have practiced a lot of topics on conditional rendering in React.js, and if you are new to this channel guys, please do subscribe and share this video with your friends. If you have found this video is really valuable, like this video, let me know inside comment section how was this video, and if you have any doubts you can ask me in comment section. That's all, and thank you guys for watching this video. See you soon in next video.